Right. Hello, everybody. My name is Sparsh Alyar, and welcome to this week's Q&A from the City Voice. And here we're going to be talking about the MYP program here at City. Today, we're going to be joined with IB Coordinator, Mr. Antuma, MYP Cast Coordinator, Ms. McCumber, and Personal Project Coordinator, Mr. Tindall, and DP student, Maya Oeverman. We'll be happy to answer all your questions as you post them in the live chat or something to that effect. So, welcome. So, what is MYP? Please, one of you.
I guess I'll start with that. Maybe we'll do a quick, a bigger picture of what is IB first, and then we'll break it down into the MYP. IB is an international baccalaureate organization. It is basically an international system of schools. There are over 5,500 different schools and 159 countries, if my memory serves, and that's like out of a total of 195. So there's pretty much at least one IB school in every country, which is pretty great. And there are way more than that in the United States. So there are multiple different programs. There's the primary years program, that's for elementary school. The middle years program for grade 7 through 10, at least what we're authorized and have here at City, as well as the diploma program, which is grades 11 and 12, and then the CP, the careers program for post-high school IB work. IB and the MYP encourages critical thinking, problem-solving skills. It encourages students to engage in diverse dialogues, in international mindedness, and really encourages individuals to develop one's self. Really, in short, it allows us the skills and the capacity to continue being good humans in an ever-changing world.
Great. Perfect. Thank you. So you just explained what's important. So what can students really take away from this experience?
Maybe we can give that one to Maya.
Yeah, sure. So what I've learned a lot through this experience is I learned a lot about the world, and then on a more personal level, just how to work, like manage myself and learn how to work hard and work well. And you learn a lot about the world you live in and how to be a better person in it and how to get yourself ready for the DP program. And it's really cool.
Thank you. So one question that I've been wondering for a long time, there is a IB diploma. So is there an MYP diploma?
Great question, Sparsh. The diploma program, yes, has a diploma for grades 11 and 12. That is a secondary diploma outside of your Michigan State high school diploma. The middle years program, MYP, does not have an equivalent of a diploma program diploma. It does have a certificate that you will achieve once you have completed the program and have have completed every requirement that IB has for that particular program.
Good. So with that diploma, do you get college credits with it? Because it's an IB school.
For the IB diploma or the middle years program one?
For the middle years program.
So the middle years program is just more of an acknowledgement that you've accomplished everything that IB has. Given the rigors of IB, you do receive high school credit for certain courses.
I see. And then what about the DP diploma?
The DP diploma is so one thing to understand very clearly is that when students graduate from City or graduate from any diploma program around the world, they do not know whether they have achieved the diploma before they've already been accepted to colleges and universities. So colleges and universities do not take into consideration whether a student achieves the diploma or not. It is a wonderful thing to achieve. It is something worth celebrating. But those students who achieve the diploma and those who do not achieve the diploma are equally successful moving on wherever they go.
Great. So you kind of explained this. So you explained how City High is a bit more different than other schools. How else is City different from other, I guess, an AP school or? like a private school?
Yeah, sure. So I won't take up too much more airtime. Would love to hear from the rest of the panelists, but I will kind of give a brief overview or comparison between IB and AP. Again, this pertains a little more to the high school and diploma program, but it's good to understand what students in the MYP are stepping into. So IB as compared to AP or advanced placement, which is the program that I was a part of, more of aligned with traditional U.S. education system. The IB is content-wise is much more cross-curricular. Your AP classes are going to be very focused on a single subject. DP courses are 2-year courses, which allow greater depth and breadth of the content and that you're going to be engaging with. AP is a single 1-year focus, so much more shorter time to engage with the content. IB as a full organization is much more globally diverse that is seen in its content. AP classes are very U.S. focused, very U.S. centric with regard to where they get their content and the people that they are learning from. And then IB really focuses on critical thinking skills and your analysis and your capacity to analyze. And that is actually what's tested predominantly in your IB or DP exams. AP, on the other hand, really challenges or tests your capacity for rote memorization. How much can you actually just cram into your memory bank in your mind? So it's a different set of skills. They're both academically challenging. They both require a lot of motivation, but I think I believe IB presents much greater depth and opportunity to engage with your students and what you're working with.
Cool. So all this hard work that you pour into the IB program, are there any special benefits to it? Any special benefits to graduating from City?
Yep. Again, so some of these are more DP focused questions, but we'll take the time to answer those. I would love to hear maybe some more about CAS and the personal project and provide some time for that. But some of the things tangibly that you get with the diploma program and graduating from City is accreditation from colleges and universities. Now, what that means is that when you apply to a college or a post-secondary institution, they are going to look at your scores on your transcript. And what they are going to see is that you've scored certain or received certain scores in certain classes, and they're going to say, how does that rigor, how does those scores relate to some of our entry level classes in college? And what many students will do, what many of our seniors have experienced, is they will get colleges and universities to give them credit basically. Hey, you don't need to take this class because of the experience and knowledge that you have gained. What that equates to is like dollars and cents. You don't have to pay to go to that class.
Thank you. So shifting gears to CAS. So Ms. McCumber, what are CAS hours and why are they important?
I'm muted because I have such a huge audience in here. CAS hours are the hours that students complete to as part of MYP. It's a requirement here at City for creativity, activity, and service hours. I guess you could say that they are designed to help the student become a more well-rounded student. So you have an overall worldview as opposed to just an academic view. And it gives you an opportunity to kind of fine-tune some skills and things like that, but also get out in the world and volunteer and see what's going on. So, other questions? I don't know what else to tell you.
So is there a difference between MYP CAS and DP CAS?
There is. MYP CAS, we require students to participate in MYP CAS from 6th grade to 10th grade. The hours are submitted differently, and they are on a 6th and 7th graders. We start you with 15 hours a year. 8th, we bump you up to 30 hours a year. 9th, we do 45. And then in 10th grade, we bump you up to 60. Those hours are collected 3 times a year or as students turn them in. DP, that's a monthly collection of hours. I do believe they require like 10 hours a month. And it's more of a project-based concept as opposed to just one particular style of hour X number of hours per category. So if I'm correct, Mr. Antuma, you might clarify that a little bit.
Yeah, so we do have monthly submissions for diploma program students with regard to CAS. Those forms can be found on chmsib.com. That's our school's IB specific website. And there is an additional project-based component for DP CAS students.
Great. So on the topic of CAS, where can we see our CAS hours, and how do we know how much we have?
Well, typically, in a normal school year, I usually post them on a bulletin board outside my classroom. I probably will do that again this year. And in the last couple of years, we've used Google Classrooms for each grade level to post like a spreadsheet a searchable spreadsheet, so kids can go in and look how many hours they have in each category. With the introduction of Schoology, stay tuned. That's a work in progress. And the goal is to do something similar there, but also to streamline the process with the introduction of Schoology. So.
Great. So how do CAS hours affect your diploma?
So CAS hours, you need to meet, you basically have to fulfill your requirements. So you're actually doing your best to complete those CAS requirements, whether it's the monthly or the monthly diploma, the monthly submission for the diploma program, as well as completion of the project. As you know, in order to achieve or remain eligible for the diploma program, you have to complete your CAS requirements. Now, we also have CAS requirements. The monthly submissions have an impact on your grades as well for your 8th period class.
Great. So I believe you touched on this a bit before, Ms. McCumber, but what's the purpose of CAS, really? Why are we doing all these CAS hours?
Well, it's a requirement, but IB really looks at it as it helps the student become more well-rounded students. Gets you the opportunity to try something other than just focusing solely on your academic life. Yeah, a lot of kids participate in sports and music and things like that, but service hours especially, getting out and volunteering to do things really allows you to see things in a different perspective and does help you become a well-rounded student as opposed to just somebody who's focused solely on academics, athletics, or whatever.
Yes, of course. So shifting gears to the personal project, Mr. Tindall, what is the personal project?
Before I answer the personal project, let me refer to a previous question. What's in it for city graduates? Let me say I've been here for a number of years, and we always have graduates who come back, and we've never, that I've seen, had a graduate who's gone off to college and come back and said that they weren't prepared. That over and over again, the city graduates come back and they either say, my program is really hard, but it's nothing worse than what I was doing at school, or you know what, my college is actually easier than what I was doing in high school at the time. And so they all feel extremely confident in how they're doing, which bears out. That's why the universities are giving that kind of credit, because they know that students who come from a program like ours are going to know what they're doing. As far as the personal project goes, that is a year-long project that sophomores do. We're starting it just about now. Students get to decide exactly what they want to make. Some will make a project. We've had students make musical instruments, furniture, apparatuses. We've had students organize clubs. Last year, I had a student who went on a keto diet, put his mother and father on it as well. They were willing participants, and then kept records of what everybody was doing and what results that they got and displayed the results. So really, it depends on the interest of the person. New this year, we are stressing not only the product that you make, but also the learning goal. There has to be something that you want to learn along the way. It's not enough to say, I'm going to build a violin. Here's my violin. Along the way, what is the learning goal? Is it learning to play the instrument? Is it learning how to work with the wood? Is it learning the acoustic value of instruments and what things are affected? So students basically determine what it is they want to make, what it is they want to learn, And then we go through the process of researching it, working through it, collaborating with their teachers on it, journalizing work that they've done. And ultimately, there is a final report where they have to explain the process. What did they do? Why did they do it? How successful were they? What did they learn? And ultimately, we have a personal project expo where all the sophomores have a big gathering once at school and once in the evening for friends and family to come in. And they basically have an opportunity to show off what it is that they did.
Right. Thank you. So, what is some advice that you could give to someone who's starting the personal project? For Maya, of course.
All right. So I found they're going to say this a lot, but seriously, you got to pick something that is interesting to you. Like, they're going to say it a lot, but it's seriously very important. And I would pick something that you're interested in, but don't know a lot about. Like, you want a foundation in what you're doing, but I wouldn't know too much about it because it's a great opportunity to explore something you don't know a lot about, and maybe you have something you were interested in but haven't got a chance to do it, and it's kind of a chance just to do that and explore a little bit. So yeah.
Of course, fantastic. Thank you. So, So, what are some examples of fantastic personal projects, Mr. Tindall? So, what are some examples that you've seen got like an 8?
There we go. One thing I show off in my room all the time, we had a student who made a bamboo bike years ago, which people enjoy seeing. That's the one that I was able to get to donate because neither he nor his mom had room for it. A lot of the greatest personal projects are never here. I did happen to see one of them at Mr. Huppard's house a couple of years ago because his son, when he went through the program, built a skateboard ramp. And they have that displayed. And next to it, they have a bench made of skateboard decks, which is what he did for his personal project. We've had students, we had a student make a greenhouse in her backyard. We've had students who put on plays. So really, the success of the project is fantastic. It's for the person who's doing it more than anything. Some are more personally meaningful than others. We had a student build a doghouse, which is great, and I got feedback months later the dog refused to go inside. So, I mean, it was a great doghouse. It was a great structure. Didn't exactly work out the way they wanted it to, but the important part is the process as much as it is the product.
Great. Right, so some questions from the chat. We have one student saying, what extra resources are available and how we can get them?
So a lot of IB specific resources are available on our school's website, CHMS, that's City High Middle School, IB.com. There are different tabs up there for CAS, for other IB specific resources. For your 10th grade students, all your personal project information is up there as well.
Great. So how long is the personal project? How long should it be?
All right, so when you say how long is a personal project, what I tell students is it's 4 months long. And that really is different for different people. There are a number of people who do it and they still want to keep working on it afterward. There is a deadline that we have to set where we have to say, okay, here's the project and you're going to write a report based on this. But some will continue working on it, quite a bit afterward. It really depends on the project.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Your answers were lovely. Thank you so much for your time. That's all the time we have for now. So, yes, thank you all for watching. And one last thing. If you haven't seen on our channel, we have our very own City Voice journalist, Sam Ostro. He had an interview with Congressman Meyer, and it's very interesting. I advise you check it out. And so, yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you later.